Bereshith, chapter 31. And he heard the words of Laban's bins, saying, Yaakov has taken away all that was our Abba's, and from what belonged to our Abba he has made all this wealth. And Yaakov would look at the face of Laban and see that it was not toward him as before. And Yah said to Yaakov, Return to the land of your Abbas and to your relatives, and I am with you. And Yaakov sent and called Rachel and Leah to the field, to his flock, and said to them, I see your Abba's face, that it is not toward me as before, but the power of my Abba has been with me. And you know that I have served your Abba with all my strength. Yet your Abba has deceived me and changed my wages 10 times. But the power did not allow him to do evil to me. When he said this, the speckled are your wages, then all the flocks bore speckled. And when he said this, the streaked are your wages, then all the flocks bore streaked. So the power has taken away the livestock of your Abba and given them to me. And it came to be, at the time when the flocks conceived, that I lifted my eyes and looked in a dream and saw the rams which leaped upon the flocks were streaked, speckled, and mottled. And the messenger of the power spoke to me in a dream, saying, Yaakov, and I said, Here I am. And he said, Lift your eyes now and see. All the rams which leap on the flocks are streaked, speckled, and mottled. For I have seen all that Laban is doing to you. I am the Yael of Beth-Yael, where you anointed the standing column and where you made a vow to me. Now rise up, get out of this land, and return to the land of your relatives. And Rachel and Leah answered and said to him, Do we still have any portion or inheritance in our Abba's house? Are we not reckoned by him as strangers? For he has sold us, and also entirely consumed our silver. For all the wealth which the power has taken from our Abba are ours and our children's. Now then, do whatever the power has told you. So Yaakov rose and put his bins and his ishahs on camels. And he drove off all his livestock and all his possessions which he had acquired, his property of the livestock which he had acquired in Padan Aram, to go to his Abba Yitzchak in the land of Canaan. And when Laban had gone to shear his sheep, Rachel stole the house idols that were her Abba's. And Yaakov deceived Laban the Aramean, because he did not inform him that he was about to flee. And he fled with all that he had. And he rose up and passed over the river, and headed toward the mountains of Gilead. And on the 3rd day Laban was told that Yaakov had fled. Then he took his Akim with him and pursued him for 7 days' journey. And he overtook him in the mountains of Gilead. But in a dream by night the power came to Laban the Aramean, and said to him, Guard yourself, that you do not speak to Yaakov either good or evil. Then Laban overtook Yaakov. Now Yaakov had pitched his tent in the mountains, and Laban with his Akim pitched in the mountains of Gilead. And Laban said to Yaakov, What have you done, that you have deceived me, and driven my bots off like captives taken with a sword? Why did you flee secretly and deceive me, and not inform me? And I would have sent you away with joy and songs, with tambourine and lyre. And you did not allow me to kiss my bins and my bots. Now you have been foolish to do this. It is in the power of my hand to do evil to you. But the power of your Abba spoke to me last night, saying, Guard yourself, that you do not speak to Yaakov either good or evil. And now you have gone because you greatly long for your Abba's house. But why did you steal my powers? And Yaakov answered and said to Laban, Because I was afraid, for I said, Lest you tear your bots away from me. With whomever you find your powers, do not let him live. In the presence of our Akim, see for yourself what is with me and take it with you. For Yaakov did not know that Rachel had stolen them. And Laban went into Yaakov's tent, and into Leah's tent, and into the tents of the 2 female servants, but he did not find them. And he came out of Leah's tent and entered Rachel's tent. Now Rachel had taken the house idols and put them in the camel's saddle, and sat on them. And Laban searched all about the tent, but did not find them. And she said to her Abba, Let it not displease my master that I am unable to rise before you, for the way of women is with me. And he searched, but did not find the house idols. And Yaakov was wroth and contended with Laban. And Yaakov answered and said to Laban, What is my transgression of Yah's instruction, that you have hotly pursued me? Now that you have searched all my goods, what have you found of all your household goods? Set it here before my Akim and your Akim, and let them decide between the 2 of us. These 20 years I have been with you. Your ewes and your female goats have not miscarried their young, and I have not eaten the rams of your sheep. That which was torn by beast I did not bring to you. I myself bore the loss of it. You required it from my hand, whether stolen by day or stolen by night. Thus I was. By day the heat consumed me, and the frost by night, and my sleep fled from my eyes. These 20 years I have been in your house. I served you 14 years for your 2 bots, and 6 years for your flock. and you have changed my wages 10 times. Unless the power of my Abba, the power of Abraham, and the fear of Yitzchak had been with me, you would now have sent me away empty-handed. The power has seen my affliction and the labor of my hands, and rendered judgment last night. And Laban answered and said to Yaakov, these bots are my bots, and these children are my children, and this flock is my flock, and all that you see is mine. But what shall I do today to these, my bots, or to their children whom they have borne? And now, come, let us make a covenant, you and I, and it will be a witness between you and me. So Yaakov took a stone and set it up as a standing column. And Yaakov said to his Akim, gather stones. And they took stones and made a heap, and they ate there on the heap. And Laban called it Yegar Sahadutha, but Yaakov called it Galed. And Laban said, this heap is a witness between you and me today. That is why its name was called Galed. Also Mitzpah, because he said, let Yah watch between you and me when we are out of each other's sight. If you afflict my bots, or if you take other Ishars besides my bots, although no man is with us, see, the power is witness between you and me. And Laban said to Yaakov, see this heap and see this standing column, which I have placed between you and me. This heap is a witness, and this standing column is a witness, that I do not pass beyond this heap to you, and you do not pass beyond this heap and this standing column to me for evil. The power of Abraham, the power of Nahor, and the power of their Abba rightly rule between us. And Yaakov swore by the fear of his Abba Yitzchak. And Yaakov slaughtered a slaughtering on the mountain, and called his Akim to eat bread. And they ate bread and spent the night on the mountain. And Laban rose up early in the morning, and kissed his bins and bots, and blessed them. And Laban left and returned to his place.